Hey guys, yeah, this is live, so I do apologize for any stream interruptions or skip aheads or jump aheads, because sometimes that's what streaming does, especially when you're using LTE 4G network from any service, I guess. Straight Talk, T-Mobile, Verizon, Sprint, AT&T, you name it. But I wanted to come on here because I got about, let me check, about 29 minutes to go before I clock in. But again, I wanted to come on here live and give you guys a bit of a channel update on what's going to occur, in the next month or so. Because in case you guys didn't hear, our president has extended the voluntary guidelines for social distancing till April 30th. Now that might change. He might bump it up to about a week. Maybe he might reconsider around Easter. I don't really know. But right now, he's making it more of a, I wouldn't say mandatory issue or order, but he's just basically saying that, yeah, what he thought was going to happen, which he basically said was aspirational. In other words, he was inspired by maybe the fact that they could get to this, but obviously with a lot going on, it's not going to happen that way. That he's decided to extend it to April 30th with the notion. Now, I don't know if this was a mistype or this is just something he's looking at, with the notion that by at least June 1st, things should be back to normal. Now, some of you might say, well, that's impossible. There's no way things could be back to normal by that time. And you have a right to your opinion, but I think what they're going off of, but I think what's going on is what the president is going off of is what he sees happening in places like China, where it was the most affected, in places like Japan and Korea, South Korea. He's looking at some of the positives coming out of Italy, and what's happening there and other places. He's looking at that and saying, hey, if they could get there within the span of so many months, so can we. I think he's also looking at the fact, along with doctors, that what's going to help speed along the process um, within this next month with the social distancing and the the goal of June 1st to try to get things back to normal. I think um, I think he's seeing the same thing a lot of us are seeing. I think he's realizing the same thing the doctors have come out and acknowledged. I'm pretty sure his head doctor, that Dr. Fauci, whether you like the guy or you don't, has said, what they have all said, and that is basically warmer weather is going to help um, halt this virus. It's going to, excuse me, it's going to help halt this virus, and it's going to bring it to an end. Or at least, well, won't bring it to an end, but basically it will cease it. It will cease it I wouldn't say a halt, but basically it will be, I should say it will be decreased to the point that it'll still be around. People will still get it, but by then we should have the necessary equipment, medications, vaccines, or whatever, therapies, whatever, to try to get around it. So, so basically by then, everything should be okay. Everything should be all right. But because of the fact that what he wanted it to happen originally, which was April 12th, Easter is not a possibility right now, he's basically saying, look, I'm going to go with April 30th. Now, like I said, he's doing this because of the fact that, you know, not a lot of, he's doing this basically due to the fact that it's not the fact that we're not getting what we need to quicken, to get this done with, or get, you know, things taken care of as quickly as possible. But he's also doing this because of the fact that in various states, including where I live, people are not adhering to the social distancing. As a matter of fact, news came out, what, 4 hours ago? 4 hours ago, that basically a church in Florida yesterday was packed to the gills with people. Now, I understand. I get this from a religious standpoint, and that's a crow in the background. But like I said, I get this from a religious standpoint because I'm a born again Christian. That, you know, you feel if you go to church, that's your safe haven. That as a Christian, you know, that, that as a Christian and all that, basically, or any kind of religious individual that believes in God, that you won't be affected. You know, you won't be affected, you won't be struck down or anything, you'll be protected. And that's true, you are protected by the grace of God, by the blood of Jesus. You are protected, like, I am. But the thing is, even with that said, there are many churches right now that are small or huge that are saying, you know what? We don't want to risk any of our congregation, getting sick, so we're just going to go and do church in a way that seems to be becoming very popular in the past several years, and that's streaming it. I mean, there's a lot of streaming. I mean, there's a lot of services that get streamed online, especially when they have a huge crowd or a huge congregation. But now you have pastors, reverends, if you will, coming on the screen on Sundays, whether it's live or pre-recorded, and they're using outlets like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, BitChute, Vimeo, Twitch, if you will. They're all using these outlets to, do a sermon, to do their weekly sermon. Even if it's from the comfort of their own home, that's what they're doing. Now, the biggest question anybody has, though, when it comes to this extension that's been put on till April 30th, is what about Easter? How's Easter going to be affected? Well, I think, in a sense, what's going to happen is our president, again, in my opinion, I could be wrong about it, but our president will probably come out and say, you know what, I'll make an exception for Easter. Everybody go to church on Easter, and then everybody get with your families, and then go back to the social distancing so we can slow it down. He might do that because I think he knows, especially being a father himself, that families have to be together on Easter. So it's going to be really interesting. So it's going to be really interesting the closer we get to that, how things are going to happen. Now, some families may be like, okay, look, we get it, but we're not going to have big crowds, and we know what to do. So I think Easter might be the exception where he'll be like, where he may just say, look, it's okay to get together on that day, but it's got to be family only. And, go from there. That's what I'm thinking. And pastors may still do in-home services online, but then, later on, so that later on families, I should say, can get together wherever they are for Easter. I think that would be the exception, is family, and only family should be getting together. Now, what's interesting about this, though, too, as well, is usually around this time, as we get into April, usually lately over the past several years, around this time, my mom is usually getting ready to go on her spring break. Either it's on the week of Easter, or before the week, or after the week. she's usually ready to go on her spring break. And basically, because of that, I usually have to come on here like I'm doing now and give you guys an update how I'm going to work around that week that she's off. Mostly I'll be working myself. That kind of works out, but still, I have to kind of give you guys. But basically, I usually will come up here and let you guys know what the plan is for that upcoming week. That's usually what I do. And hold on for a sec. The one thing about doing these live in parks or recording these live in parks, you gotta watch around with people. You never know. But anyway, like I said, usually my mom, um, takes a break around this time, before, after, or even if she's lucky enough, on the week of Easter. She usually takes a break. Unfortunately, now, what I'm trying to say is, yes, she will be taking a break this week, or this upcoming week, her annual spring break. But, unfortunately, because of what's been going on, well, I guess you could say it's kind of a win-win kind of situation for her, in a sense, because, one, it's like, she doesn't like the idea that, she's off right now because, you know, well, she's getting paid. That's what her job is doing. Her job is paying her and the other teachers because of what's going on. But, she kind of likes to, be interactive with the kids. She has to, she can, because that's the best way she can teach. But right now, she's off, and like I said, she's getting paid. And I got grass on my shoes, as you can see. Uh, all right, sorry about that. Well, like I said, she's getting paid right now as we speak, along with the other teachers. But usually, as I was trying to say, this is a time that she usually does take off or gets ready to take her spring break on. Usually, it's the week before, the week of, or the week after. But recently, as I was trying to say, without all these interruptions, and I do apologize, that she usually has been taken in about the week before. Now, with that said, as I was trying to get to, as I bang some of the stuff off my shoes and all that, what I was trying to get to, um, what I was trying to get to is the fact that, um, basically, basically, she is going to, Like I said, she's going to be taking her spring break as usual, but because of this mandate, or not this voluntary, basically this extension of these voluntary guidelines and mandatories and mandates, if you will, of social distancing, basically she's going to be off a lot longer. As a matter of fact, from what she understands, the targeted goal now, instead of the 13th and the 14th, the targeted goal is May 1st. Now you might say to yourself, well, how is that possible? How is that going to be like a targeted goal, if you will? How is that going to work? And that's a good question. That is a very good question. Like I said, that's a good question. That is a very good question. And honestly, nobody knows. Honestly, nobody except maybe the teachers know how that's going to work. Um, because because of the fact that, here's the thing, my mom's not a year-round teacher. She's not. And year-round basically means you're working all 12 months. She's a 10-month teacher, so she only works 10 months out of the year. So, with that said, Ed, the question is, how is that going to work? And my thought process is this: is they'll have them work for the remainder of the school year. And sorry if you heard a vibration there. Got a notification. Like I said, they'll probably have them work for the rest of the school year. But my guess, and I'm probably wrong about this, but my guess is not only will they have them work for the rest of the school year, but they may have them stay to at least July. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Hear me out. Here's why I'm saying that. Here's why I say that. Basically, it's because of the fact that, yes, my mom, school-wise, would get out about on the second full week of June. Knowing how her job is, and knowing they're going to want to catch up on some things they've missed, they'll probably, again, just a speculation, they'll probably tell the teachers that they're going to extend the scheduling to at least the beginning of July or the end of June. That's what I'm looking at. Because by doing so, it gives them maybe not as much as they want, but just plenty of time within maybe the start of May and perhaps into most of June. Basically, it gives them the next 2 months, if you will, to catch up on things with the kids. If things go the way they are planned. If things go the way they're planned, things should be okay. Things should be all right. But we'll have to wait and see. Now, I know I sound like I'm rambling throughout this, and again, I do apologize for the interruptions. It's just kind of weird that every time I try to do this lately, a lot of people just show up out of the blue, like they know I'm doing a video and they want to be part of it or something. I don't know. So I do apologize for if I sound like I'm rambling and all that, and going on a little too long. But to get to the point here, because I know I'm 19 and a half minutes in. I bring this all up because of the fact that basically this is going to affect my channel for the next month. Now, like I was saying earlier, usually, I just basically, like I was trying to say, usually I basically do an update, for 1 week for the spring break. She's going to be that my mom's going to be off, because I got to work around that. Well, because I got another month, and it's for a good reason that she's going to be off. Basically, I got to work around it even more so. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of you noticed that was in the span of a day. Once again, I had 10 videos uploaded. The earliest being premiered around, I think it was at 2:30, 2:15. So, yeah, from that time frame up until when I got up several hours later, I uploaded videos as best I can. Now, too, most of them were game-related videos. They were game-related material, from Mario Superstar Baseball on the GameCube, um, to Mortal Kombat 11, which I played for the first time, believe it or not, even though I've had it for a while. Um, to showing off some of the extra special features in the Sonic Mega Collection Plus on PlayStation 2, to several other things. There's just several other things, as well as doing a video showing the rare Sonic SatAM material that I have. Items that I got from people like Frank Hill, as well as I bought on my own. So, so stuff like that, basically. So stuff like that. And again, you can tell people probably know you're doing it because they suddenly speak loud because they want to get on there. Anyway, though, like I said, um, what was I? Oh yeah, I did videos on that. I did a video on that, and then I did some other game videos. So basically, I kept myself busy as best I could. I kept myself busy as best I could when it came to some of the stuff I have. Now, I plan to do a few more. Now, throughout this month, I am going to plan to do as much as I can. The only problem, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, or the only obstacle, which is a good one for right now because it keeps us safe, is the fact that my mom's going to be home. So, what does that mean? Well, one, it means that if I come to work early, like what I'm doing now, and I have to clock in around, like for me, I got to clock in 10 minutes. I have to work from like, let's say 9:15 or 10 o'clock or whatever, and I got time to myself. I'll be able to get up, catch the bus, come here, and if without any kind of interruption, be able to do a video. That would be the plan. Right then and there, that would be the plan. At least do a video. Possibly, if I have time during lunch, do another. And then if I have to wait for my mom to show up, which I shouldn't have to because she's usually on time getting me, especially now that she's off, usually probably get 2, maybe 3 videos in at most. That is the main goal. So at least I have something to contribute to my YouTube channel. Give you guys some content. I also plan to do a few other things as well. For example, yesterday I was looking around. I still got to find out. I think I have an idea where I may have them at. But like I said, I think I have an idea where I may have them at. But I'm trying to look for some vids that I did before, and I'm going to try to upload them if I can find them. Some AMVs that I did in the past, fan vids, if you will, and then upload them as best I. And then upload them. What I'm trying to say, if I can find them. The other thing is, speaking of videos, music videos, PMVs in this case, I do have plans for those. Several songs that have come into my attention that I utilized in the past. I had completely forgotten about when I was looking, like I said, for certain videos to re-upload. So I'll be definitely doing some new PMVs with those, and some other ones I already got set up to go in the future. And then on top of that, on the weekends, because right now my schedule for this week, next week, and then I think the following week has me doing Monday through Friday, basically Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But one of the benefits of this coming week, especially Thursday and Friday, and then I think the week after, I have to look into this, is on Thursday and Friday, it's 11:45, so I'll be able to get up early. I'll be do something in video-wise, and like live stream wise, get up early and do it because I'll only do like 4 hours or so that day, 4.5 hours. And then after that, the week after, um, my schedule has me going in like at noon or something, so I wouldn't have to leave the house until maybe about 11:38, 11:40, something like that. That's one of the days. I'll have to look at my schedule again, but basically I am going to have time to get up early and do content, not just on the weekends. The weekend, though, Saturday and Sunday is going to be really interesting because I'm going to get up, because of the fact that when I get up, I got to get up early and do it. Or something like that. Or if I'm going to rest early, well, basically, my thing is this. I set my alarm on my phone here and my regular alarm clock to a certain time, and I'll get up. Usually what I try to do is get up by at least 6:30 so I can have time to myself. The only problem, here's the thing, the only problem that I have is I have to use a Kurgan cup. I use my Kurgan cup to give me some coffee to wake me up. There's a problem with that. That problem being the fact that my mom could hear that Kurgan cup go on, and that's why I'm always careful when I wake up. So yeah, basically, that's another thing I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to get up early or stay up really late, depending on what my schedule is, just to do some content, like a live stream, topics on my mind, or whatever. Or I'm going to have to work around that and do a topics on my mind like I did previously by talking about a few things in separate videos and then compiling them together into one video. So that's going to be, that might be what I have to do in the future just to work around, the fact that my mom is, home right now. Because here's the thing, like a lot of people my mom's age, she has a cell phone, she understands certain terminologies or terminologies or aspects about it. However, some of the things that kind of confuses her or she needs a straight answer on is things like text messaging and Facebook messaging. And mostly like, what's the difference between individual messaging between people and group messaging? She needs that kind of information. She needs that kind of help with the stuff. When it comes to sharing something with herself on Facebook, she needs help on whether or not she's doing it right. And I know she's not the only one, because honestly, I think phone companies, they need to make these situations, they need to make these things a lot simpler for the older senior citizens to utilize. That's what they need to do. So those situations, and the fact that when she goes on the phone and talks to, let's say PG&E or whatever, to pay a bill, she'll come into my room. She'll, instead of knocking, she'll go knock knock, open the door, and then talk to me a little bit. Or if she's on the phone with my sister, she'll do that, and then she'll talk about what they talked about a little bit or whatever. So it's one of those situations where you got to work around those kind of hold on. Like I say, you got to work around those kind of circumstances, if you know what I mean. So, so that's why when I did that one video, that one, early live stream, I said basically you have to find the opportunities that are opened up to you, and that's what I've been doing. Even if it's content that's not like me on screen doing a video or whatever, it's still me providing content. So that's basically what you're going to be getting in the month of May, is me basically doing what I'm still doing, but having to work around certain things, like when I do topics on my mind and stuff like that. It's going to be worked around in a way where it's like, okay, it's early. Why do I got this notification? Or, this being early, stuff like that. It's going to be around those kind of situations. So, yeah, April, because of the extension of the social distancing and all that, because obviously nobody's really obeying it in certain regions, even though, they have a right to their opinion and believe, oh, it's not going to affect me, that, and that may be true. The thing is, if if it wasn't for that, maybe it'd be a lot sooner. It might still be a lot sooner. Who knows? But yeah, April will be really unique. And again, I will be doing my WrestleMania for my CAW League, my DCWA WrestleMania. It's going to be a unique one, as well as I might, if I can, do a reaction to or review on WrestleMania and its uniqueness as a whole from WWE. But that's all I'm going to really say, though, guys. I got to get into work now. But let me know what you all think down below. Comment if you like. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what I had to say. Again, I do apologize for rambling a little bit throughout before getting to the point. But I just wanted to let you know why, this is going to be happening and everything. And for the next month. And hopefully come May, things might get better. And they will get better by the grace of God. They will get better. So. Just again, let you know what's going on, and I'll talk to you all later. I got to clock into work, and I'm out.